2021 sucks. Now what? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. For a lot of people right now, 2021 isn't what they wanted it to be. And if you're one of those people, I can tell you one thing. I don't have any answers that are directly going to help you with this, but hopefully we can start a conversation over it, and hopefully it can be helpful. Now, there's two types of people that be watching this. One, you're going through 2021 with all of its highs and lows and everything that's crazy about it, and you're surviving. You find a way to be able to make it work, and things might even be going well for you. That's one person. And if you're that person, great, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. If you're the other person who's dealing with all this, seeing all this, and can't quite find how to get around it, there's only a few things that I could start to recommend. But it really takes a change in perspective, because I know where you're coming from, because I've been in that position before, where it's like, where do you go when everything seems so drab and dreary, and it just doesn't seem like anything could possibly happen that can go good? There's a couple places I go to. First off, and it's going to be very similar to a video we did not long ago, a conversation we had about headaches and how do you get over that type of thing. And really the first main thing I do when it comes to any type of ongoing depression that seems to be controlled by outside forces. One thing I know for sure, which is why I've been able to keep from falling into it too deeply with these things, is that no outside source has control over your outlook. You can allow it to have control and make it feel like it has control, but they don't really have any control whatsoever over your outlook. You have the ability to be able to control that. Here's what I mean. It's a great book out there. I recommend you get it. If you're not a good reader, go and get the audio book version of it. It is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Go grab that book. What's the book about? The book is about a guy that was working his way through psychology and all the concepts behind psychology. It was really big then. This was back in the 1930s, and was figuring a lot of this stuff out. And then all of a sudden you had the Holocaust happen, and World War II, and everything that happened around that period of time, and found himself in a concentration camp and going through all the things that were happening then, and how he dealt with it, and how he was able to keep perspective in the worst possible scenario, having your entire family stripped apart. I think most, if not all of them, died. Completely dead. And at that point he wasn't even sure whether they were alive or not. But in most cases he knew they were probably dead. But being completely stripped from your kids, from your wife, and really having nothing left. Nothing. You have no ownership of anything. They've taken all your clothing. They've taken all your valuables. They've taken everything. They've made it to where you're starving to death. You're slowly starving to death. You have nothing. And where do you go from there? And how do you maintain any type of sanity or perspective in that type of... I mean, it's beyond slavery. It's slow torture. And how do you maintain? Where do you go from there? Read that book. Listen to that book. Because it's not a depressing thing. And it's not a... because he takes it at a very distant perspective. He gains perspective in the most outrageous situation possible. And by seeing that, it's not that you're supposed to, oh, well, he went through such a greater, more horrible position than I have, so I feel better. No, it's not that. It's that even in that, he was able to gain perspective. And if you can get the same type of perspective that he gained there, then no situation around you can control you ever again. If you can gain that perspective to an extent. And if you ever fall into it, you can come out of it again. Come out of that depression, which is really, I guess, what this is all about, is not falling into that and feeling as though someone else has control, or some powers that be, or some evil entity is controlling your life. Because in the end, it can't control the one thing you have, which is perspective, which is attitude, which is your soul's purpose. You know, what you're out there doing, where you're going forward. And everything's going to change. It's not that circumstances can't change. It's not that specifics can't change. It's not like someone can't remove everything from you and completely destroy your outer life. But your perspective can't be controlled. And the perspective changes everything. This guy went on, he survived the concentration camps and ended up changing the world with this one book, let alone his entire philosophy that he built out of it, and his entire psychological school of psychology that he created out of it, and everything else. I think that's what this is really all about, though. This is really about that. If you can gain a little bit of perspective, a little bit, that can grow over time. And that's about all I got for you tonight. I also have my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. By far not as great of a book as the one I previously mentioned, but this is one that can help you out with your business, help you out with perspective, give you a little bit more runway in terms of where you can go from here. Maybe give you a little bit of a brainstorm, give you some ideas of where to go next or what to focus on next. Get your own free copy at amazonproofbook.com. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Hey, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Where are you coming from? How is everything affecting you right now? And where do you see yourself going in the future? Leave a comment wherever you're watching or listening to this. You have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.